There are things that make absolutely no sense to Sigma males, and they could get upset if anyone tries to force these things on them. If you are seeking to understand the highly efficient personality of these men and why certain things get on their nerves, especially in their relationship with other people who don't understand them, then this is the video you need to watch. This is not just about understanding the Sigma male, it is also about appreciating the values and lessons that can be learned from their mindset. So, let's get right into it. Number 1. Sigma males hate being called weird. Actually, they do not care about what people say about them, but they hate that people relate to them based on biases they do not even understand. Do you think Sigma males are weird? Think again. Everything these men do is perfectly rational and reasonable. The only problem is that they strive for a high level of efficiency that those who cannot keep up with their pace and demand find it more convenient to tag them as weird. They say you hate what you don't understand. Sigma men are misunderstood and may be called all sorts of names, but it does not change the fact that these men are at the top of a very small percentage of men that possess an uncommon level of intelligence and diligence to their priorities. If that makes them weird, then that is fine. But they would prefer everyone understands the logic behind their behavior than be prejudiced against them. We live in a society where people find it easier to label people who challenge them than put an effort into becoming better. Sigma males are far from perfect, but we must admit that they indeed live their lives in a way we can all learn from. These are some of the most successful men on earth. They are lone wolves who keep mostly to themselves, have a strong drive for success, and exhibit great character defined by a life of modesty. People wonder why they don't behave like other people. They wonder why these men have so much money, but they don't flaunt it like alpha and beta males who are flamboyant show-offs. You can call these men weird, but there is a lot everyone can learn from them. Number 2. Manipulative behavior. Manipulative behavior comes in many forms and intensities. It is a behavior in which tactics or techniques to influence or control others are used for the benefit of the manipulator at the expense of the other person or group of people. This is a behavior that infuriates Sigma's men. These men really hate this behavior because it is against their desire for freedom. Sigma men greatly enjoy being unplugged from the crowd and enjoying their freedom. So when they sense that someone is trying to manipulate them or anyone else in any way, they get furious. These men would not hesitate to resist manipulators, and they would totally disconnect from such people. Manipulative behavior can take many forms, including guilt-tripping, gaslighting, lying, withholding information, and using fear or intimidation. These behaviors can be used to control others, gain power or influence, or avoid taking responsibility for one's actions. People who engage in manipulative behavior may do so because they have a strong need for control or because they lack empathy for others. They may also have learned manipulative tactics from a young age as a way to get what they want. The effects of manipulative behavior can be damaging to the person being manipulated. They may feel confused, powerless, and unsure of themselves. Over time, this can lead to a loss of self-esteem, anxiety, and depression. Sigma men ensure they set boundaries to avoid manipulative people. Number 3. Emotional blackmail. One specific manipulative behavior that gets Sigma men angry is emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail can be very hurtful because emotional blackmailers use guilt, fear, or other negative emotions to pressure someone into doing what they want. As wicked as this behavior is, it is a tactic that is more commonly employed than most of us even realize. People would often seek to take advantage of the emotional weakness of others. It is especially common in relationships where one member tries to take advantage of the affection of their partner to get what they want. This type of behavior can create an unhealthy power dynamic in relationships, where one person holds emotional leverage over the other. It can also lead to feelings of resentment, anger, and frustration on the part of the victim, which can ultimately damage the relationship. Additionally, emotional blackmail can be emotionally taxing and exhausting for the victim. It can make them feel like they are constantly walking on eggshells or that their actions are never good enough. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Sigma males are psychologically conscious. They easily detect when anyone is trying to take advantage of them using emotions. This sensitivity is possible for Sigma men because of their resentment for emotional situations. They don't appeal to emotions to get anything. These men are naturally proud and would not stoop to using emotions as a tool. So when they sense someone trying to do this to them, they become furious. Number 4. Showboating. Showboating refers to the tendency to draw attention to oneself in an exaggerated or flashy way. This behavior can be problematic in a number of ways, and Sigma males utterly dislike showboaters. First, showboating is a sign of insecurity or a need for validation from others. People who engage in showboating behavior may do so to try and impress others or to make themselves feel better about themselves. This can be exhausting for those around them, as it can create an atmosphere of competition and hatred. Sigma men hate being drawn into competition with anyone. Lone wolves want to do things at their own pace. They don't want to be compared with anyone, and they do not feel comfortable with one trying to measure up to them. They prefer being around people who mind their own business and focus on their own goals. People who showboat may be trying to distract from their own shortcomings or to deflect attention away from their mistakes. This can create a sense of confusion or mistrust in relationships, as others may not know what to believe or trust about the person's true intentions. People like this are show-offs who cannot keep the promises they make. They may also be defensive or unwilling to admit when they are wrong. But Sigma males are not men who rake excuses. They would hold these show-offs accountable regardless of the excuses they give. The terrible thing about showboaters is that they always try to put other people down. They would downplay the efforts and achievements of others just to elevate themselves. Number 5. People that are not ready to learn. Sigma men have a big problem with people who are unwilling to learn. Sigma men spend most of their time alone, and they use this opportunity to learn new things. These men can be very knowledgeable, and they have a hard time relating with people who know little or nothing. These types of people are usually very defensive and would double down on their ignorance instead of listening to the opinion of others. Such people and Sigma men are not a good mix. When they meet, Sigma men are likely to have a big problem with them. Number 6. Lack of objectivity. Sigma men would get infatuated with people who are not objective. This behavior can be very frustrating and can be likened to hitting a brick wall because there is no way to make progress talking with people who are not objective. This is a behavior that can lead to biased thinking, poor decision-making, and a lack of understanding and empathy for others. When someone is not objective, they may let their personal biases and emotions cloud their judgment, which can make it difficult for them to see things clearly or make rational decisions. People who lack objectivity are always narrow-minded and would often say the most ridiculous things just to defend their stance. Changing these types of people is near impossible because it is a personality they chose because of their dishonest nature. These dishonest people always want to force their opinion on others, but are never ready to listen to anyone. Number 7. Getting their personal space invaded. Being lone wolves, Sigma men love their privacy. It is where they can be themselves. Sigma men would keep out of the personal space of others and expect the same from them. Invading the personal space of a Sigma man is the same as stepping on his toes. They just don't like it. Number 8. Freeloaders. Freeloaders are individuals who take advantage of the generosity or resources of others without offering anything in return. They are always trying to get as much as possible out of others, but would never contribute anything back. They are the epitome of selfishness and greed. This is a behavior that Sigma males detest deeply. Sigma men work for everything they have, and they take pride in their hard work. They therefore find it annoying that there are people who take pride in taking advantage of others. Sigma men would not hesitate to confront such people. Number 9. Those who cannot think for themselves. People who cannot think for themselves but always follow popular opinion are pretenders of a unique nature. These people exhibit an inferiority complex that makes them want to always follow the crowd without reevaluating their actions. On the other hand, Sigma men are never carried away by popular opinion. They are able to decide their own path and values. Sigma men cannot stand people who follow without asking questions. These men believe a lot of progress can be made when people can think for themselves. The reason why most people behave this way is that they fear rejection. Unfortunately, these people have to lie to themselves and discard rationality for acceptance. All they care for is just to be accepted. Number 10. Sigma men hate being told how to live their lives. If you want to get a Sigma male angry, start telling him how to live his life. The moment a Sigma male discovers you are always trying to tell them what to do, he would start dissociating himself from you. It is always best to just advise them and have a sincere discussion when you feel they need to see things differently. Sigma men really hate being bossed around. These are some things you must avoid if you want to maintain a peaceful relationship with a Sigma man. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and watch this one as well. Thanks for watching.